All right, it looks like we're live. And as usual, I feel like my hair is silly looking, but could be worse. Could be worse. I know people much younger than me who don't even have a full head of hair, so, you know. Sean, what's up, man? Sean B. Laurie, what is good with you, buddy? So, as usual, I'm about to drop some good stuff on y'all, and hold on a second. Test. Looks like the volume's good. I am just going to invite some people here. You guys on YouTube, I'm also streaming on Facebook, and I like to invite friends. I don't yet know how to invite friends on YouTube. Don't know if that's even a thing, but I'm going to tell you, it's part mindset, part tactic today for why you're not making more money in your business and what you can do about it right now. And I know that that's a clickbaity headline, but I'm going to give you something real and usable. Hey, Alice. So do pay attention, okay? Now, you may have heard people talk about the difference between working in your business and working on your business. If that's something that is familiar to you, please, give me a like, give me a share, give me a smiley face. Let me know, engage with me, please, and let me know that you're familiar with this idea. You've heard people talking about this idea of how you have to work on your business and not in your business. You guys heard that? Do we know this one? Is this familiar? That's a grotesque oversimplification, hey Joe, of a very real, very vexing, difficult to assess, difficult to spot, and difficult to overcome challenge. So when somebody says, oh, the reason you're stuck in your business, and this is the guru, that one guru or those two gurus or those 10 gurus. This is me doing the guru. The reason that you're stuck at the income level that you're at now, and the reason I'm on this beach on Bali with a man bun and a surfboard and a laptop with all kinds of cool stickers on it that aren't ironic in any way, is because you're working in your business and I know how to work on my business. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like, can you know who I'm talking about? All those guys and girls? Here's the thing. Unless you come into starting your business, whatever that business is, unless you come into starting it with access to capital that you can make mistakes with, and or just a dead-on business plan and capital, you have to start off working in your business. And it really, really chaps my hide, like so much marketing does. Hey, Trevor. But it really chaps my hide that these people get out there and they just blithely say this to you, frankly, with the intent of selling you something. It really, because I bought into it. Let me just tell you, like, I bought into that nonsense and I struggled. It was just immense frustration. I couldn't even explain the struggles I was having because I didn't understand. And so if this is you, if you're in any part of that stage where you're working in your business, which means you're doing what it takes to bring money in the door, you are not going to, right from Jump Street, be in a position where you can focus on things like growth and scaling. It comes later. Okay? Hey, Carol, thanks for joining us. It comes later. Okay, so I've heard so many people, so many of these gurus tell me that you can either work in your business or on your business. Joe says you need to be a hunter before you're a builder of systems. Dude, bang on. Spot on, Joe. For those of you on YouTube that can't see the comments on Facebook, my friend Joe Nicasio said that you need to be a hunter, meaning go out and hunt for money and leads, and customers before you can be a builder of systems. And that is spot on. But nobody ever says that. They just make you feel guilty for working in your business, not on your business. Am I right? So it's one thing to sit here. Thank you for the thumbs ups. I believe that was Carol. Guys, seriously, I mean, go ahead and send some emojis across the screen. So easy for you, means so much to me. And it also, of course, tells Facebook that we're enjoying what we're doing here. It's good for the algorithm. It's good for me. By the way, also, please share this. Please share this. If you like the things that I'm bringing you here, please share this. It takes nothing for you, and it means the world to me. So they sit there and they blithely say, oh, you should be working on your business, not in your business. The way you scale is to be a leader and a CEO and not a manager. And all that's well and good, of course, And the rub is this. We inherently recognize in our already overwrought state where we're trying to figure out how to make money and keep the lights on, metaphorically speaking, keep the computer on, we'll say, and we're trying to figure out how to grab new clients, and we're trying to figure out copywriting and marketing, and God damn it, do I need to look at funnels, and do I need a Facebook ads person? What about YouTube? What about Google? What about, where should I be doing what all the time? And then they say to us, well, you've got to be working on your business, not in your business. Here's the thing. If you work, okay, so Trevor says, I think you need systems to bring in leads, though. Trevor, not in the beginning, you don't. Depending on how you define a system, okay? Depending on how you define it, if you define a system, if you say this is a system, putting value out into the marketplace with your free content and then making an offer, and then refining your offers over time and earning trust over time, if to you that constitutes a system, then you're right. Then you are right. Hey, Randall, but I want you to really draw a clear line in your mind as to what you mean by systems, okay? Because it's very important. So here's the thing. Hey, Colin, in the beginning, unless you have money, access to money, and a really, really like a plan that just works without change, which no plans ever work without change, right? Unless you have those things, you've got to start by working in your business. You have to. Your business starts as a job unless you have a lot of resources to allocate to it, where you don't have to make money from it right away. For the vast majority of us, it's just not the reality. It's just not the reality. So beware of anything that has that essence to it of you're making a mistake because you're working in your business. Let me break it down for you. Let's say you're a mindset coach. And you know that your stuff is good, right? And you're watching the other mindset coach who's like four scrolls down the feed, and this other mindset coach is killing it, and you're struggling to get every lead. Well, you're looking at that mindset coach and you're going, oh my God, I can coach circles around that person, right? Show of hands. Who has experienced this before? I could coach circles around that person. Why are they killing it? What's going on here? I'll tell you exactly what's going on. They have either come in with a big budget, which almost never is the case, or they have started out building up that audience, building up that group of people they earn trust with. Yeah, Trevor says he's the world's best kept secret. Man, I know that feeling. Trevor, personally, I know that feeling. I am the world's best kept secret as far as public speaking coaches go, right? I have a mastermind student who got invited to speak because, by the way, and this guy's on YouTube is specific to Trevor, who's one of my students. She started off with my personal branding program, and she's risen so fast with it that she's now getting invited to speak. Well, she needed coaching on speaking. She is not a speaker, and yet with a little bit of training of my public speaking training, she got 2 standing ovations in her talk. 2. Not just the one at the end, but she got one in the middle. She had to stop the talk and wait for the applause to die down. So I know what you're talking about, guys. When you feel like you're the best kept secret, here's what I did wrong. I worked on my business, on my business, on my business. I tried to be an owner and a leader, but it was just me. You see what I'm saying? It was just me. And then it was just me and one part-time assistant. That's not the time to be an owner and not a manager. Had I known then what I know now, here's what I would have done. This is what I suggest you do, unless you have a big budget to build your business with. Ruthlessly save the money you make. Study organic lead gen. Okay? Study organic lead gen and ruthlessly save the money you make. Why? Because then once you manage to figure out how to bring leads in and convert them organically, all of your money is profit. Or, I mean, don't get overly technical with me here. Obviously, you'd pay yourself something. But even then, when you're starting out, all the money is just one money, right? You don't have it allocated to profit and you know, R&D and marketing department. It's just you. So figure out how to bring clients in organically. Ruthlessly save your money. I mean, make it hurt if you have to. Get those financial resources built up. Then and only then, invest in education, mentorship programs, and for God's sakes, do your due diligence when you invest in them. Okay? Here's the thing. All of this activity that I'm outlining here, and here's the big tie-in, guys, to the headline. All of this activity that I'm outlining here is very hard to do in a strategic way where your thinking is a week, 2 weeks, a month, a quarter out ahead of the action. Please let me know if you understand this, because this is clutch. When you're doing organic marketing, when you're establishing yourself, when you're starting to build trust with your audience, when you're getting into the space, when you're doing all of those things, it's very difficult to be mentally ahead of the crest of that wave. You're just doing things as they come in. And I recognize that this is a needed, very difficult to avoid part of growing your coaching business, right? You with me? If you're with me, Colin, Joe, Trevor, hit a bunch of likes across the screen for me. A bunch of smiley faces, guys. Let me know, because this is so important. In the beginning, you're running around. You're like a surfer who's barely managing to stay on top of the wave, okay? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, guys. And yes, Trevor, we're going to get you ready for January weight loss now. We're doing that. So at some point, what'll happen is this. At some point, if you stick with it, you'll start to bring in, I'd say, a range of income that is fairly consistent. This is what I call, it's like being in the insane little box. I'm working on the metaphor, so bear with me. When we don't have a system in place for organic marketing feels to us like every morning we get up and we go into this room that has levers and gears and pulleys and pedals, and we just have to like pull and turn and punch and crank and push and step and all this stuff, trying to figure out what combination will bring a client in, right? So imagine it like this, visualize it like this. There's this little room and there's a chute at the top in the ceiling, and you've got all these levers and all these wheels to turn and all these pedals to push and all these knobs to twist, right? And when you do them in the right order that you don't know, a client pops out. That's what organic marketing feels like. It feels like if we take our foot off the pedal and stop pulling the levers at all, that everything comes grinding to a halt, and then we've got to build up momentum again. This is as it should be, okay? This is not unusual. This is not something to worry about. But just understand there are stages in your business. So in the beginning, you're just constantly organic marketing. You're doing everything you can do. And then little by little, you refine it. And you start getting more clients coming out of the chute for less crazy lever pulling. Okay. Yeah, Joe, organic is semi-random for getting results. Now, my experience and the experience of a lot of other people can back this up is that it's not random for getting results, but it really does. It yields a range of income, right? You could never say 10 grand a month steady with an organic system. You could say like following this system, you can expect, so there's a big range there. But we know that if you follow certain principles, value, 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 offer, value, 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 offer, and then refine your offers and tweak your offers and that kind of stuff, we know that you will get clients. Joe, you're living proof of this, as a matter of fact, because you just did a challenge, I believe it was, and you got clients. You got people to sign up for the challenge. So I want to tie this all back into the headline. What happens is this. We start off with feeling like no structure. It's just insanity. And we're just hustling all the time to get clients. Little by little, we sort of start to refine that organic vibe, right? And it becomes easier. But we're still working in the job, right? Remember, this whole thing, the original rant was about those gurus who tell you have to work on the business, not in the business. You're still working in the business very much. You're an employee to your own work. Now, how do we, let's see what Joe says. I got a software that shows who has engaged on my personal page. Wow. Okay. Well, I want to talk with you more about that. But for right now, I want to stay focused on this. At some point, one hopes that you refine your efforts where you're adding value, making an offer, right? You have a nice ratio of free value to offer. You're starting to learn things like writing headlines and what kind of copy grabs people and how to do live streams and all that stuff. And you're starting to land some clients. Now, you're going to start to get exhausted by that feeling of so many little things to manage. And hopefully at this point, you've got some money tucked away because you took my advice and you relentlessly saved what you're making, right? So hopefully you've now got some money tucked away. When you've got some money tucked away and you've got the crazy of the organic marketing system has somewhat become under control, this is where you can start making the shift to working on your business. If you've got even $750 a month that you can allocate at this point, you want to get an assistant. You want to find somebody who can help you and take things off your plate for whatever budget you can afford. Now, it'll tighten up. It'll start to make it feel, like $750 a month might be a big bite out of what you're making. If you're making $4 grand, $750 is big. If you're making $5 grand, $750 is big, right? So anyway, what you got to do is you now have to get ahead of the crest of that wave. You've now got to figure out, how do I get my thinking and my strategy and my game plan to be looking a month out, looking a quarter out, looking to the next year with a plan. When you get to that level, then you're working on your business and not in your business. How do we do that? Well, guys, I've struggled with this for years, and I want to share with you the idea that I've just come up with. Because one of the things for me, and please raise your hand, send some emojis across the screen, whatever, if you can relate to this. One of the things for me is, if I'm being realistic, I'm not going to open up my Trello, my Google Calendar. Hang on. I'm just not going to open up one of those digital platforms that manages everything. Sorry. I hate those things. I hate them. I have gotten myself to the point where I put important things on my phone calendar, but then it's not enough, right? Because the phone calendar is very First of all, it's only this big. I have it on the 3-day view or the 7-day view because it's only this big. Now, if I want the 30-day view and I'm trying to fit it into a square that big, it's useless to me. I'm super analog. Let me show you. This is what's on my desk right now, right? You get it? That's how I like to operate. I've got ink pens of 15 different colors over here because I'm analog. That's the way I like to do it. I can't stand having to log in to look at what's going on. So for me, that's been a big challenge. And the other thing that's been a big challenge is that feeling of like a stack of notebooks all with notes on them, right? It's crazy making. So here's what I've come up with. This is what's allowing me to shift forward. This is the part where you pay attention, by the way. I know we're 21 minutes in here, but this is the part where you pay attention. First of all, I plan out 1 year, my goals for 1 year. I don't connect them to 3-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals. I don't do that. Beyond 1 year, it's anybody's guess. The truth is, I may be in a completely different area of service beyond a year from now. I don't know. And I've got to allow for that. So I plan 1 year and I look at objectives, income goals, and lifestyle. Okay? So plan 1 year out. Big goals, income, people reached, just stuff like that. And then I break it down into quarters. Quarters are 90 days each, right? So I break it down into quarters. And I say, if I want to achieve $1 million this year, what do I have to do this first quarter to achieve that, right? And from the quarter goals, I can then look at what each month needs to look like. And I can start to reverse engineer it down to my daily stuff. How many calls do I have to make? How many sales do I have to make? What do those sales have to be for? Like in terms of money, right? Call and keep all your handwritten notes on your phone. But here's the thing. This system in the past has led me to, having calendars over here and notepads over here and scraps of paper here and handwritten notes here. Like it's too much to manage. So here's what I've come up with. And if you're analog like me, I think this is really going to help you. Start with one notepad and each piece of paper, divide it down the middle the long ways. And on the left, you just simply title it Little Things. And on the right, Big Things, or Little Projects, Big Projects, or however you want to say it. And on the left is just a little stuff that comes trickling in. On the right, you have the things you want to get accomplished. Like, for instance, in my case, doing a live stream every day. What's that live stream going to be about, right? What things am I doing within my Facebook group? By the way, if you're not in my Facebook group yet, you should totally come and join. It's just called Manny Wolf's Group. It's called Manny Wolf's Group, and you should be there. Why aren't you there? But I want to plan out, at least a month ahead of time, what I'm doing in the group to make it special. And so that goes on the big things side of the page, right? And so all the different ways that information comes at me, I put it either on the little things or big things, and it's just a running list. It's a running list. When I get to the bottom of a page, go to a new page. As I do things, I just scratch them off. But here's where I think it gets good. Now remember, we've got our year, our quarter, and our month planned out, right? Because we did that first, okay? And I've got my little things that just come trickling in. I capture them all on the left-hand column of my one notepad. That's if they were all little pieces of fairy dust and will-o'-the-wisps and stuff like that, they'd all get caught right there. That would be where they get captured. And then I have the big things that I have to do. Now, what a lot of people do is they plan their whole week on Sunday. I would suggest trying this, but if you're like me, what happens is 7 days is a lot to plan out ahead. So I give myself permission to plan even just 1 or 2 days if I need it. So ideally twice a week. Twice a week I sit down and I plan the next 3.5 days. I'm going to try to take Sundays off too, but we're not there yet. So it might look like in the morning on Monday, plan out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In the morning on Thursday, plan out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, take Sunday off. And how do I plan out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Well, I look at my list and my big things and my little things. And I just start plugging them in. And I plug them in relative to what time of the day I like doing things the most, right? So let's recap this. Let's think of this again. First, 1-year goals. Second, quarterly goals that add up to the 1-year goal. Then you take 1 quarter at a time, right? And you lay out in a big calendar, I would say, like one of those big desktop calendars. You have, at a glance, you have your whole month. And you do 3 of those at a time. So if you've got a joint venture partnership 6 weeks out, all you have to do is flip 1 page and you can see middle of next month, I've got this thing. And then you can work backwards. Like say you've got something that's going to take you 2 weeks to build. And you look and you see, oh, okay, 2 weeks from now, I've got this thing. Well, you can just plug in part of your time each day toward building that thing. So what we've done here, using the 1-year goals first, then the quarterly goals, and then putting the quarterly goals into a month at a glance calendar, what we've done is we have moved our thinking out into the future. Then we capture all the little minutia that comes in on one side of our piece of paper of our notebook, and on the other side we have our big goals, the things that have to happen. And we allow ourselves to write out the action plans as often as we need to. Some of you guys may need to do it daily. I may need to do it daily. But the beauty of this is that it allows me to do it daily if I have to. Or I can do it every 2 days or every 3 days. And if I get good enough, I can do it once a week, right? Do you see how I've taken all the chaos and I've put it down into 2 lists? And those lists are compared against a different set of goals that basically makes a list. So I've captured my North Star, which is my target, which is my 1-year goal, and then my immediate target, which is my 90-day sprint. And then what do I have to do month to month, week to week, day to day to get there? But I can't be only focused on the long term or I won't bring money in. So I also allow myself time to do the short-term things. Does that make sense? How's that tracking for you guys? So what we've just done here is we've taken the chaos out of the process. We've just allowed ourselves to shift our thinking from working in our jobs to working on our jobs, right? Working in our business to working on our business. You get that? Do you see how this is, for those of us who are analog and who don't like digital calendars and Trello and things like that, do you see how this captures everything and it filters it from 1 year from now, it filters it down into manageable daily tasks. And all we have to do, once we have our 1 year, our quarter, and then our monthly, is we have to commit to looking at our running lists on our notepad and putting them in our calendar. And if we do this twice a week, then we're always looking out ahead. And as soon as you can start looking out ahead, you are in fact working on your business and not in it. Then you go back to work in your business on a day-to-day basis. But you give yourself a little bit of time to align with your goals. I suggest you give yourself this time in the morning, but you can give it whenever you want. you give yourself a little bit of time each morning to plan out, or every twice a week or whatever it is. Yeah, Colin, for me, I can't even use an Excel spreadsheet. I don't want to. I'm not doing it. For me, it all has to be analog. That part just has to be analog. What I will do is this. I will commit calls into my calendar on my phone, right? And then so when I'm doing this system and I'm writing out what my day and my week looks like, I include, handle all the calls on your calendar as part of my tasks. Trevor says, so I need to break that into quarterly goals, then monthly, and your goal is 100K in 2020? Yes. And by the way, that is $8,300 and change each month. Not hard to accomplish once you get out of the crazy box of pulling levers and stomping pedals and turning gears in order to figure out, how to get a client. Once you can start to extricate yourself from the crazy of organic marketing, and you can sort of bring it under, compress that bandwidth, that signal, and make it a little more consistent, then $8,000 months is easy. It's not hard. So that's it, you guys. I hope that has been a help to you. And by the way, if you want my assistance with all of these things, you need to get into the Coaches Branding Blueprint program. You need to jump right on that. And we have a Black Friday deal for you guys. I'm not going to tell you what the discount is, but I will tell you it's impressive. If you would like my help, not only organizing your time, but actually getting more clients and making more money and growing your personal brand and authority, then I want you to reach out. I want you to tell me in the chat here, say hashtag tell me more. Say hashtag tell me more in the chat. And let's talk about getting you into the Coaches Branding Blueprint, where we have collectively, in a little over 4 months, booked almost $1 million in new client business. We have collectively grown our audience and our reach to over 3 million people. And we've done all kinds of other things. But mostly I want you to know what we're doing in there is we're getting you real spendable results in the form of new clients. And we're growing your awareness and your brand positioning to huge levels at an epic rate of speed. So if this sounds like something that would serve you and you want to get in on the Black Friday deal, then put hashtag tell me more in the chat and let's talk about it. This will be an absolutely revolutionary program to invest in. It'll change your business. It'll change your business completely. It'll bring back sanity. It'll help you scale. It'll help you to shift from working in it to working on it, and it'll get you more money. Okay? All right, you guys, thank you so much. That's it for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Michael, I'll reach out to you.